How do you know if you're communicating with the actual person or a mask? I sometimes wonder if I can ever really know someone. Well, you can't ever thoroughly know someone because people are too complicated. You can't even really know yourself. How do you know if you're communicating with the actual person or a mask? Well, if you're communicating with an actual person, then you're actually having a conversation. And the conversation transforms as a consequence of participating in it, and it tends to be engaging and meaningful. If what's happening is an exchange of ideological platitudes, or just platitudes themselves for that matter, then you're probably engaging with a mask. So if the conversation is compelling and meaningful and it transforms as it progresses, and you can see that give and take, that dance-like give and take, then you're communicating with an actual person. The other thing I would say is that when you're communicating with an actual person rather than a mask, the person that you're communicating with tends to be quite interesting. If people talk about what they know, which means you're really communicating with them, if they talk about their own personal experience instead of wandering off into the domain of cliches and ideological platitudes, then people tend to be extraordinarily interesting. And so that's another good tactic and a good hint that you're where you should be when you're conversing. One of the rules I had when I was seeing clients actively was that if the conversation I was having wasn't interesting, and if my attention started to wander, then we weren't discussing issues that were sufficiently vital. Because if we were discussing vital issues, then the conversation basically flew by. And so I think that's a good marker.